Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the My Mama Done Told Me Special Feature. The MMDTM Radio News Hour.
Bing, bing, ba-ding, bing, 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 bing.
This evening, we bring you the Actually Curious cards. They have returned.
Woo-hoo.
Actually Curious comes from Curiosity Labs. These cards, they're called Actually Curious. They were created to bring people closer together in a time where we seem so divided. Based on the science and psychology of emotional connection, Actually Curious helps build connections through questions about background, values, and important issues. Perfect for game night, date night, or any night. These questions help us to get curious, to get closer to love. Time to play Actually Curious. So if you checked out our other special feature, we got into some of these cards. And we're going to do a few more.
Yeah.
Because
Been waiting.
Yeah, we want this to be kind of an ongoing.
Because we need to get closer.
Yeah, let's get closer.
Let's get closer.
Let's get closer.
Not necessarily physically closer, just.
No, definitely not.
Do we know, Lauren? Do we know? Is there a difference between the different colors of cards?
I think there is, yes.
Do you know what the difference is?
Look at the black one, because I think that'll tell you.
The black.
I'm not
Okay,
mistaken.
let me check.
Or maybe that white one. I don't know.
The white one
Here
on
we
the
go.
back.
Here we
Turn it
go.
over.
Here we go.
It's up.
Yeah, that's right. When playing the Curiosity Edition, start with the blue cards and work your way up through green, yellow, and pink. Only move on to the next color once the group has answered one question from the previous color and is ready to take it up a level.
Oh.
Interesting.
So what did it say to start with?
Blue.
Okay, we're not starting.
Because we did
Because
lose,
we're
I think,
rebels.
last time.
I'm a rebel, Dottie.
Rebel Dottie.
You never seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Oh, yeah, I have, but it's been a long time.
Oh my gosh, I do not understand how you guys can remember stuff like that.
We watched that
can't
a
remember.
lot.
I'm a steel
My
trap.
phone number.
I don't know your phone number either.
I don't-
712 something.
Something.
Yeah.
I do remember my phone
Don't
number,
say
but
it.
I don't know yours. No, I won't.
Okay, we're gonna go all the way up to yellow because I'm a rebel, Dottie.
You are.
Yep.
Obviously.
All right.
And look at you.
We look at you.
It was one of yous.
It's Justin. All right, Mom. Why don't you go first? Hit us with your first card. You're Actually Curious.
Oh, this is a good one. This is
Ooh,
a,
okay.
this is a really good one for this group.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Aw, and don't make me cry.
I
Okay.
might.
Okay, what's one thing you would change about the way you were raised?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
And
Hold on,
for
let me-
our listeners that don't know, we're a son, a daughter, and
Oh,
a
yeah.
mother.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're watching our special feature, I hope you already know that. But
Yes.
if not, that's my mom and my sister over there.
Yeah. So I raised them.
One thing I would change about the way I was raised. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I would change anything just because I like the way it turned out. But this is a hard question.
I know. It's
Yeah.
because I'm here.
No,
No.
what I was gonna say is it would be
I would get to keep my He-Man toys.
I knew that wouldn't be yours. I could have bet the mortgage on that one if we had a mortgage.
Yeah, if we had a mortgage.
Yeah, if
if
we had a mortgage.
Humble brag, my
Right.
mortgage is paid off.
Just sidebar, no
Yeah.
mortgage.
Yeah, I don't have a mortgage, so that's fine.
No, you pay rent.
Me, yeah, I do.
It could be something as simple as a later curfew.
Right, but I
I
don't
don't even
know.
remember what
I
a
don't
curfew
either.
was because it didn't really bother me.
It didn't matter really.
It was long enough for you to do what you needed to do and get back
And when it wasn't, I just snuck out. It's cool.
It's fine. No big deal. I
There's
didn't
that.
I
do
only
that.
did that like once.
I didn't
so.
do that
I
ever.
know, that's good.
Why are you lying to our mother?
I didn't.
Okay.
I don't think anyway. I don't remember doing that. Gosh dang it. What is one
Okay,
thing?
we know what Jeff says. Do you want to go reiterate while she's thinking?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I think again, I'm with Lauren that it doesn't really matter because I'm pretty happy with how it all turned out. I think if I had to choose something, it would be probably some of the leniency and things that probably didn't matter, like the types of music that we could listen
Right.
to and whatnot.
Some of the restrictions you had that you
Yeah.
felt
Yeah.
were a little.
The He-Man toys, which we
Yep.
talked about in another episode, and things that really over the course of whatever didn't really matter.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have turned into
Was it? No.
I wouldn't be possessed by the devil because I listened to
Well,
quote unquote
and they weren't
secular
like
music.
traumatizing,
No.
horrible things.
No.
No.
So I mean, that would probably be the only thing. Maybe if I could change how I was, if I could, I mean, I thought about saying something like, maybe I'd be raised in next to a mountain range or something.
yeah.
Where you live.
But-
when
Yeah,
you
that's
grow
a
up.
good one.
Yeah, that's
something like
Like
that.
maybe like if we moved to like somewhere that isn't Nebraska.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Not Turkey. Oh my gosh.
Maybe a little bit. We've talked about this on the show too, where we feel like we were raised pretty, with a pretty diverse and accepting mindset, but it maybe being a little more diversity in how we were raised would have been nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just grasping at straws
And I
here.
think when you say that, that was not necessarily something that we avoided.
Right.
It was
No.
just
No,
not
at
like
all. No.
No.
it wasn't in the it
Right.
wasn't in the environmental sphere that we were in.
Yep.
Just was
Right.
not very diverse.
Right.
It just
Yeah, and I'm
that's
grasping
just
at
the way it
straws here. It's
Yeah.
not like I'm
Yeah.
going, I really wish my mom wouldn't
well,
hit
and
me every
well,
day.
if I was
Yeah.
gonna say for myself, what it would be would be probably I wish I would. Well, I wish I would have had a different mother.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
But
Yeah.
when I look at how divorce affected my family,
Yeah.
not once but 3 times,
Yeah.
I guess I wish I was raised in a solid mother-father relationship. Where I had a mom and a dad
Right.
that cared
Yeah.
about me, and we were a family unit that
Yeah.
wasn't separated not once but 3 times. So,
Yeah.
and I think for you guys too, you could probably honestly say,
I don't
that
think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think I would change that for a second.
No, because I thought about saying that, but then I was like, but it would be completely different
Right.
without
Yeah,
the
yeah.
people that we have in
Without
our
Larry
life now.
and Cheryl
yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and Matt,
Matt
and
Right. Right.
Ben,
Ben,
and
yeah.
all of them, and we wouldn't be who we are had we not had that.
Right.
That's
I don't
true.
want to change that.
Well, that's kind of good to
And
know.
you and Dad clearly weren't meant to stay together forever.
Right. And that would
And
have
if-
been, and if that made you or dad unhappy,
Right.
Right.
Then
we
it-
don't want that. That's
No.
going to be detrimental to us.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's going to
so
make it
that's
worse.
true.
anything that I would change would be pretty remedial.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think my childhood would have been the way I was raised would have been a lot better if I would have had a pool in the backyard.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's my answer.
Yeah,
Okay.
an in-ground
Sounds
pool.
good.
Yeah, in
Sounds
ground
good.
pool
I'll take that.
with a pool guy to clean or gal to clean it,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't have to do it. A maid too. Could we have a maid?
Yeah, we could
have
And
a
could we have a maid?
And it could be a pool boy, so that when you were like a
Oh,
teenager,
yeah.
you'd be very handsome.
Yeah,
and you could
handsome
watch the
pool
pool
boy.
boy clean.
Bye.
Bye, Cher Lloyd.
Okay,
Enough of
we
that
we
question.
might only get through one question
dear.
because
Each.
if we're gonna take that,
Yeah.
so that's
Okay.
fine. So Lauren, why don't you pick your favorite of the two?
Okay. Okay. Imagine yourself in the future. What What will be your
so
greatest
strong.
life accomplishment? What will be your greatest life What will your great Oh my gosh. Okay, imagine yourself in the future. What will your greatest life accomplishment be?
Oh, so you're talking about in reality, like
Yeah,
what we've done.
I went straight
over our-
sci-fi when you said that.
I
was
did
like,
too.
I was like, in the distant future, I'm a marauder going from
right.
planet to planet,
That's almost
mining.
like that's
Yeah.
almost like saying, what do you want your legacy to be?
Right.
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can I go first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, so I'm thinking, I'm already close to the end, so
Oh my gosh.
I think
Give
I've
me a
built my
break.
legacy already,
Well, that's
and
good.
I'm happy with it.
Good.
That I am an animal lover,
Mm-hmm.
and I've done a lot to help animals and save cats, and that's kind of a good legacy to have. And I also like that I am creative. So I like to make. Well, it sounds so dumb to just say I'm a quilt maker, And so
Doesn't
I
sound
like to
dumb
make.
at all.
I know, but I mean,
you think about
It's
the
not dumb, but
quilts
I-
that you find that are like vintage and
Yeah.
whatnot, and
Yeah.
and how excited you get because you
Yeah.
go, man, think of what they must have been going through when they made
Right.
this, and where they got these fabrics from. It's from the potato sack or
Yeah,
whatever. I know you've told me
Yeah.
stories
Yeah.
about
Flour
they got
sacks.
grain or whatever
right.
in this, and that's sort of the same. I mean, those are
Yeah.
they last longer than
Yeah,
you're
they
going
do.
to. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the ones that I make and create, most of 99% of them now go to charity. And I hope that that's, making someone happy in a wheelchair or a child or whatever that wouldn't necessarily get it. And probably 90% of the materials that I used are donated
Yeah.
materials that I don't go out and buy, but people hand off stuff they don't want and I make something beautiful out of it. So
cool.
I guess
That's
it's
very
just the
cool.
creativity in the animals.
Good.
Lauren, what can you read the question one more time?
If I can
it's over
find
on
it.
your
Oh, yeah.
phone.
Imagine yourself in the future. What will your greatest life accomplishment be?
Man, greatest life accomplishment.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it almost feels weird because
walk on the moon.
you don't want to shortchange
yeah, you don't
yourself.
want to
and go,
undershoot
my
it.
greatest
but-
accomplishment will be something I've already done.
Right.
I made
Like,
it to work
whoa.
Monday
Yeah.
through Friday.
Yeah. I retired eventually.
Right. I mean, if I'm making up my future, I think my greatest accomplishment would be helping to raise my family to be healthy and happy and successful, and I made smart choices in life and with my partner to make it to a place where I don't have to like work myself to the bone
Right.
when I'm hopefully when I still have a lot of life and
vitality
vit-
left.
yeah,
Energy.
left,
Energy.
I can live a little bit more what feels more free, and I think that would be what I would hope for. Now, when you first asked the question, like I said, I went straight sci-fi, and I thought like, ooh, I'm going to be like the guy that goes around like a space pirate or something like that,
Yeah.
because I went straight fantasy there. But yeah, I think that
Yeah.
in reality,
That's a
I
good
think
one.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
How about you, sister?
Well, I mean, if I get to choose, which I guess I do because it's my life, but my greatest accomplishment in my future, I'm going to be a horror writer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have, short story collections and a couple of novels that
Turn into
some
movies.
people like and and turn into movies. And I have some of my, I get to pick who's in them and things and like, just
Cool.
I think it would be cool to be a writer,
yeah.
and you
I
dabble
feel
in
like
that, so it's not like that's just
Right.
a fantasy because
Yeah.
you
Right.
do some of that. So
yeah,
that's-
doo-doo.
it's actually, you do it, and it's like
But yeah,
it's
I
a
think
possibility. It's actually a possibility for you. That's
remind
good.
me of the babe with the power.
What power?
Power of voodoo.
Who do?
You do.
Remind me of the babe. Okay, you guys ready to do last card?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to go with this one.
Okay.
How do you love?
Oh, wow, that's like a half-hour show in itself.
Yep.
Are you asking
Yes.
how?
However you want to answer that.
Are you asking
Who
how
do
we
you love?
personally are love, or what it means to love?
How did you hear it when I read it? How did you interpret it?
I interpret it as an individual, personal. How do you love? How do you love?
Then answer it that way, I think.
I don't want to,
Why?
because it's a hard question.
It is.
I think this goes into like love languages and things
Yeah, it
like
does.
that.
Because it can be
I-
different for different people. You
Right.
show your love to different people.
So
in
what are some of the
different
ways that you show love? How do you
I love with my time
Mm-hmm.
and my with my I want to say energy, but maybe that's not what I mean. But like when I love someone, I really I put effort into it and I go out of my way to try to buy gifts, if I'm purchasing something for someone, like, or if I see something that I think someone would like, I think it's like, I try to pull from all of the love languages. I don't know if the love languages are like a known thing. I mean, I feel
I
like
don't
they
know.
are,
I think
but
most
people have an idea
most
of
people
what
have
it
an
is.
idea.
right. But I try to like think of the other person even when I'm not with them, and keep that in the back of my mind when I'm going through my day. A lot of times, like, I have limited, we've talked about it on the show before. I identify as an introvert in the way that it really drains me to be around people a lot. And so if I am choosing to spend my time with someone, that to me is
should be
me
happy.
showing love. No, but like that's how I love, is like putting forth an effort
I'm going to be present
right
for you.
Right.
in
And
this.
not be distracted and not be
Yeah, I see that.
yeah.
Oh, bless you.
Huh?
Or whatever that was.
There's a cough.
Oh. Mom, how do you love?
Well, I don't know. It's something I've never really paid that much attention to. When I love people, I just do whatever it is that needs to happen at the time. Whether it's giving time or buying something, or
It could be
It's-
the answer could be as simple as like
It
I
sounds
love with
deep.
my whole heart,
well, I do.
or I
with-
love unconditionally, or
that's a really hard question for
it
me.
is. It's an interesting question
Yeah,
because there's a
because,
lot of different ways you
I mean,
could.
how do I
take it.
love? I love by giving. I'm not a gift giver. I'm not. I don't like to bake for people or make meals for people. That does not. That's not the way I like to give love. I like to give.
I do know about you that if I ask, will you make a meal?
Yeah, then I will, and I do.
You don't seem to be like, oh, that's
Yeah,
not really how
that's
I
not
love
really
Jeff.
how I do.
Yeah,
things.
I would
Yeah.
never say that,
Right.
but I wouldn't be the first person to say, "Hey, put me on the meal train
Sure.
list."
Yep.
I'd be like,
Right. Well, it's different for depending on who it's for.
I think I
if
think
you're
I like
loving
to,
your
I
community,
I
you're
hope I'm
not
a good
going to.
listener. I hope I love by listening
yeah,
when it's
that's a good
needed. I think and trying to encourage. I think I try to encourage people, and I don't know if that's necessarily a way of expressing love, but
Sure it
it's.
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
love and concern, whatever. But that's a hard question for me.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I
That's-
know for me, it's acts of service. I know that sounds cliche because that's one of the love languages,
Yeah.
but for me, it's being protective. Or I should say, I'd like to rephrase that a little and say being like a protector as opposed to protective, because I don't feel like I'm a protective person where
You're not
I,
like
yeah. And by that, I mean
Overwhelmingly.
possessive, I
Yeah,
guess.
possessive is
Protective,
exactly.
not possessive. Yeah, I don't feel that I possess any person in this world, even my wife. I mean, she is not my possession.
Right.
You know,
But you
so-
want to protect your wife.
but I want
yeah.
to protect her
exactly.
more than most people in the world, you know.
Yeah.
And the people that I like, that's kind of my thing. And then, but also, I like to show love through helping people with things. Whether that's just, hey, I'm gonna get up and get your cup of tea for you.
or Jeff. I'm at Napa Auto Parts and my car won't start,
Yeah.
or wherever I
Yeah,
was. I
for
don't know.
sure. Yep.
I've done that a couple times. I
Yep.
think.
Yeah, that's I think
Yep.
me. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you. I do like giving gifts. I really do. So
I do too.
do,
I have a hard time. Lauren does really well at that. And I have a hard time trying
Yeah.
to think of what's really going to be meaningful and what's really going to be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
something that's going to. I don't like to just buy a gift that wrap it up and here it is.
Right.
Because it's your birthday and you need a gift.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I do like the process of getting gifts for people that I really I don't like when it feels forced.
Yeah.
Like, I've never really been a huge fan of things like I love Christmas. Don't get me wrong. Like you grow up, you have good memories, things like that. But I don't like going, okay, here's the giant list of people I got to buy for.
And you have the list from them that tells you exactly
Right.
what they want.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Or it feels overwhelming to go, well, but I like going and buying something for Lauren because I know her so well.
right.
And I know like there's certain things that I can find.
There's
And that's fun.
nostalgic
That-
things
Yeah, that hunt is kind of fun for
Yeah.
me. So in for a lot of people, or if I do see something and go, man, James would love that.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So and he does the same thing. Obviously,
Right.
You guys know that.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out James Wells.
Yes,
Hi,
James
James.
Wells. And one of these days, I'm going to bring that beautiful little mug in here
Oh, yeah.
and show everybody how cool it is.
Yeah.
So cute.
Okay, so I think that's good.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
actually curious up for this special
Yeah,
feature.
I think
Yeah.
so.
All right,
Those
well,
are fun.
Yeah, I like them.
those.
We'll do some more of those. We take a long time talking about things, but I think
Well,
that's the point.
that's
That's
the
the
whole
point of the
point.
whole thing. It's like if you had a one sentence answer,
right.
it would be a very fun game.
No.
Maybe sometime though we'll try to do an episode. Like let's try to get through
2 questions.
3 rounds
Oh my
You
in-
God.
get
in-
2 sentences
in
to
the
answer the
30-minute
question.
episode. yeah,
You get 2 sentences. That's it.
yeah. You get like total
Yeah,
of
but
6 words.
That's the thing though. I'll sit here and think for 25 minutes.
Trying to find-
Trying to
But I
figure
can
out
cut
what
that
words I
out.
want to use.
All
No,
right.
we could cut it out.
That's-
And you
Well-
could put a little thing that says 25 minutes later.
Right. Yeah.
2 hours later.
This has been a My Mama Done Told Me special feature. MMDTM News Radio.
Hey.
Thank you. All right. Keep your minds open. Be kind to each other. We love you. See ya in our next episode. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.